So we are here with Daniel Jacobs, WBA title, middleweight title holder. Is it a regular title, or I believe it's the regular title?
It's a regular title, WBA World Championship. Yeah.
Now, you've been on, been thinking a lot of the hero's journey, and that whole, if you think of like Star Wars, he begins in one spot, kind of moves, and then goes through a series of very serious challenges, and then you kind of come back full circle. This is your second time. Your third time fighting for the middleweight title in terms of trying to acquire more titles.
Sure.
You fought against Pirog, and then you picked up your title. Now you're fighting for all the marbles. Talk about how different you are right now in this moment compared to how the tragedy that happened aside, but just in the lead up to the WBO, that first title against Pirog.
I think the difference is just the experience that you get. I've been in this game for a long time. When I first started out as a professional, we were kind of really on a fast pace, and, in my opinion, it was deserved. I mean, I was skillful, I was knocking guys out, I was very talented, and guys wanted to see me in it with the best. But as far as maturity, I think it's at an all-time high now, whereas before, obviously being 21, 22 years old, you're still a young man, you have a lot more to grow and experience and just evolve as a person and as an athlete. And I think that's where we come to this point. I feel like just all my experiences inside the ring, being outside the ring for some time and studying the game and understanding what I need to bring to the table if I had a shot to come back, which I did, and we made a lot of different changes. I'm a completely different fighter, and it's all mental. I've allowed myself to be the best person that I can be the best athlete, be the best fighter that I can be by the training methods that I'm providing myself, and the circle that I keep, and just the energy that I try to keep. I'm a positive guy. I like to stay around a lot of positivity, stay a lot around guys who have the same best interests for me in my career at heart. So it's showing, and I think 30 years old now. I just turned 30, February 3rd. I'm in my prime. I mean, there's no better opportunity and no better timing than now.
Was 30 a big deal?
30 was a big deal. In my mind, 30 is a big deal just because where I come from. I think the life expectancy was probably about 20, 22. Something like that. So,
Brownsville, yeah.
Yeah, a rough neighborhood. So the fact that I was able to go out and live my dreams and, reach 30 years old and still in the midst of my career, at the peak of my career, it felt very good. I felt very accomplished. As we get older, we get wiser, and I realized that, I'm at the most positive state that I can possibly be in my life.
How did you get here? How did you end up at the snack facility?
Well, I just think that the world works in mysterious ways. This universe, when you keep a good circle, when you have a positive heart, just things just slowly but surely start to happen. And, for the life of me, I don't understand how we ended up out of here. But I did have an idea of coming out here and training. I just wanted to be around good positive energy. That's why I wanted to go to Burgess Hunter's gym and, be out there with Ward and with some of the other champions and share some of that good energy. And, I learned about snack while being out here, and I just thought it was also a perfect fit for me to have a training camp here as well.
Golovkin trains. He's one of the few guys that trains in altitude all the time. I think it's like 8,000 feet up there. And then you come out here not knowing that this is here, this facility that's designed around all kinds of oxygen training, from hyperoxygenation to hyperoxic, or hypoxic rather. So now you kind of have what he has in a sense, but you're able to actually control it a little bit more. Can you talk about that aspect of it, of the oxygen training, and can you feel a difference in the sparring after doing it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, when I came out here about 2 months ago, my conditioning obviously wasn't 100%. After using, it being challenging, obviously, for the first time using it. And then when we got acclimated to it for a little bit, we started to see the difference. And I went from going from maybe 4 rounds or, 5 rounds to 9, 10 rounds already. So we had to kind of pace ourselves. And, I know I'll be in shape. I know I'm getting the best possible care being here. The modern technology that the guys bring to the table is just second to none, you know, and I'm happy that they're allowing me to train here and be a part of the facility and use the facility, and you know, it's really probably the core to me being able to bring my skills to the forefront, because if you're in shape, if you're in tip-top shape, there's nothing in there you can't do, and that's what I believe. I've always been a student of the game, and there's nothing that I can say I'm above learning. You know, Victor brings so much to the table, and after learning his history and what he has offered to many fighters, I just thought, you know, this might work for me, and using certain products and being a part of his different programs, and you know, having the blood drawn and seeing what I'm deficient in and what I can better myself in those different types of aspects. I mean, it's just modern technology at its finest, you know.
Yeah.
And I just think for me to be at this level and for me to fight probably, you know, the most challenging opponent in my career, I just think it couldn't have come at a better time. Well, obviously, you know, we're going to be equipped with all the tools sharpened to go to war, to make sure that whatever he brings to the table, we're able to counter, we're able to be better, we're able to be faster, and sometimes we're able to be stronger. Mentally, though, I think I'm going to be at my strongest that I've ever been. It just helps that I bring all these different assets to the table, because if one doesn't work, we'll go to the next, and if that doesn't work, we'll go to the next. And it's just all about adjusting. Boxing, you can't just say you're going to go in there and do something, because, you know, at this world-class level, everybody's good at what they do.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to have something that you can fall back on, or you have to have a plan B or plan C so that you can be victorious, because one-dimensional is not good.
Yeah, and you know, the thing I've noticed with you, if you know, some people would say, oh, it's the chin because of Pirog, which I now know more than ever what you're going through. I lost my mom recently, and I can't imagine how you fought that week.
Yeah.
I always thought, though, just technically what the flaw is not the chin. You put yourself in bad positions sometimes. Like Sergio Mora, you kind of came in naked without a jab and got caught a little bit squared up. I didn't see it. Have you focused on that? Is that something? Am I accurate when I point that out? That sometimes
yeah, of course. I mean, I've said it numerous times out in public that was a clear mistake on my behalf, because when you don't respect a guy's power and you become vulnerable by the disrespect, then you become shocked. And not to say that I was hurt, or not to say that it was an effective shot, but it was enough to put me down in the midst of me being being off balance, trying to knock him out because I just dropped him. And as we know, in the second fight, you know, it was everything that I've said. You know, I put my pieces together. I made sure those mistakes wouldn't happen again. And once I dropped him 4 or 5 times, the fight was over. So when you go in a fight with a guy who is respected for power and well known for his power and probably one of his best assets, you have a different approach to it. You embrace it more. You prepare for it more. You look for it more. So with the Sergio Mora, it was more of a shock and an off-balance shot. But with Triple G, I mean, you know, when you see a shot coming, and he's a wide guy too, so when you see certain shots coming and you brace it, you can take a punch. I mean, I've got hit. Caleb Truex hit me with a great shot, a really, really good uppercut, and I was able to take that shot and continue and, you know, go 12 rounds as I predicted and stop him in the 12th round. So I just think the easiest thing people can question about me is my chin, because they can't say I'm not skillful. They can't say I'm not nice. They can't say, you know, I don't bring a good arsenal to the sport of boxing and inside that ring. They can't say that. They can't say my offense against Golovkin offense that I won't win, or my, you know, it has to be something. And the only thing to point out is his power.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've been on a pretty big stage, not on this kind of stage, but you always seem to take everything in stride. You don't seem to get rattled by that. Do you feel like there's any more obligation than normal? Like you're going to be on 60 Minutes tonight, 24/7. But PBC's had a lot of publicity for you. Does that aspect of it bother you at all, or?
No, it doesn't bother me because I mean I only see it from my TV at home. You know, it's a small spectrum if you look at it because
Sure.
I'm not out looking at thousands or millions of people looking at it. It's not
You
that
don't
much
tweet all the
pressure.
time.
Yeah, I've gotten rid of my Instagram. I've gotten rid of my. I haven't gotten rid of it, but I've stayed away from it and just to focus more. I mean, this is a big opportunity for me. I don't want to get distracted by any means. Getting caught up in your own hype is something that a lot of fighters and a lot of athletes in general do. And, you know, they wind up losing or they wind up not being focused and not giving the best that they can give. I want to be able to be myself 100% and then, you know, become that superstar that I know I can be. But to get caught up in, you know, the media and the press and getting caught up in my own hype, that's not really what I want to do, and that's not what I intend to do. I continue to stay grounded and humble because that's really who I am.
You're not going to give away the game plan. So, is there any aspect of him that you think? Do you see the blatant flaw, or do you just see things that you can take advantage of in the matchup?
I think everybody can see the flaws. I don't think that's so far-fetched. I think a lot of people just, you know, so captivated by his power that they tend to ignore the obvious flaws. And yes, like I said, my game plan is to be the best me in what I bring to the table and minimize his strengths. So if I can be great with my defense, then I really look forward for a great night.